And I think that we as a result of that, we started the company 11 years ago. We've been building quietly. Canton was launched as a fair launch 2 years ago, but we knew what was in the pipeline. We knew all of those relationships, all of these applications that we were building. And we waited for a point in time where we thought there's enough gravitational force here that we don't need to now come out and say, hey, let me talk. Like, I didn't want to have a podcast like this 2 years ago where I say, LG, I'm telling you, we built the best thing in the world and it's going to do X, Y, Z, and I have nothing to stand on. It's purely future tense. I much rather be able to talk about things in present tense or even past tense and to say, you don't have to trust my word for it. Just go and talk to all of the people that are participating. So that's, first of all, it's not that Canton came out of nowhere. It's been deliberately taken to market in a way that it's better, in our opinion, to talk about things that are being done or have been done rather than, again, making promises to the future. So that's just one anecdotal point. Where are we in a few years? I actually think that $10 trillion is too small of a number. And I'm not going to make necessarily a prediction, but try to explain to people. We do, Broadridge, who deserve all the credit, do anywhere between 300 to 400, even over $400 billion of repo every day. And in the crypto ecosystem, that seems like a very large number, right? It also sounds, I assume, like a large number. It's a tiny number. Yeah. It's a tiny number. I wouldn't say it's negligible, but it's tiny in the sense that on a daily volume perspective, repo trades about $10.5 trillion every single day, volume. So we don't even do 5% of it yet.
Alrighty, everybody, what is going on? Welcome back to another CYPRX video breakdown. Shout out to the Milk Road for that interview with Yuval Ruse that started off today's video breakdown, where I want to show you guys something that Yuval mentioned to me on a podcast that most people completely overlooked, and that was how intentional the build out of Canton Network actually has been.
Digital asset have been doing for the last few years. And I think, people are like, where is this Canton coming from? This is not a mistake. I mean, we had a plan how to roll this out. This was not a mistake. This is not just like, oh, suddenly people are hearing about Canton and then like overnight we're able to sign these institutional partnerships. These are things that we have had, waiting for quite some time.
And they've been telling us what's coming long before the headlines even have taken place. And then I want to walk you guys through a few up and coming platforms that I'm personally paying attention to, just to get my capital in Canton working for me in this new digital era of finance. So hopefully you guys enjoy today's video breakdown. I want to start off with this post from Heslin Kim. Shout out to you over on X for this post. This is BlackRock's CEO, Larry Fink, where he mentioned that we're not spending enough time talking about how quickly we are going to tokenize every financial asset. Take a second real quick and listen.
Tokenize every financial asset. And the payments, what does that mean for the payment companies like MasterCard and Visa? All these are being questioned right now. I think we spend so much time talking about AI. We're not spending enough time talking about how quickly we're going to tokenize every financial asset and the opportunity we're going to have a digital wallet and moving, ETFs and other things through a digital wallet. And I think that's going to happen worldwide very rapidly. And I think most countries are ill-prepared for that and underappreciate how technology is changing that.
Now, besides the fact that he said, people aren't talking about how quickly we're going to tokenize every financial asset, he mentioned that jurisdictions, that countries are ill-prepared for it. Now, I would go outright and say that within those countries and within those jurisdictions, the people, the every average day person, they're ill-prepared for it. How many people walking around on your everyday average basis have no idea what is taking shape in the digital asset landscape right now and the transformation of finance? Now, the reason why I'm reading this one from Heslin Kim over on X, we know that BlackRock invested $100 million into Canton's DAT. They're immune. With that being said, coming over here to an article that Zenith wrote on February 2nd, 2026, doing a full recap on Canton and everything that took place up to this point in 2026 so far, I want to focus on two primary highlights. And that's right here where it talks about what changed in early Q1 2026 is not the volume of announcements on Canton, but the caliber and scale of global financial institutions suddenly going public with their tokenization and digitalization initiatives, and considering what Larry Fink just recently said on a panel discussion. Stock exchanges, global banks, and asset managers are no longer exploring blockchain behind closed doors. They are openly running validators, this is important, issuing tokens, and settling assets directly on Canton. So let me show you guys just how kind of massive this is. Also considering something that, Yuval Ruz said at the very beginning of this call, that $10 trillion is peanuts, considering the scale of traditional finance. Across these assets, the pattern is consistent. Canton is being embedded directly into institutional market plumbing. Let me show you guys that this is not like just cap. This isn't just some random sentence. It's actually happening. And they've been telling us this quietly behind the scenes. So we know NASDAQ joins as a super validator. As of January 5th, the Canton Foundation approved the CIP0097, welcoming NASDAQ as a new super validator on the network. This deepens NASDAQ's institutional participation, building on its earlier June 2025 integration that connected the Canton network to NASDAQ's Calypso platform, right? For automated 24/7 margin and collateral workflows. So I was like, wait, I didn't know that that took place. And so if we go back to that announcement directly from NASDAQ's website, June 26, 2025, and what does it say right here? NASDAQ today announced it has facilitated end-to-end margin collateral workflows on the Canton network, connecting the blockchain-based technology to NASDAQ Calypso. NASDAQ Calypso is the leading technology platform used by financial institutions to seamlessly manage risk, margin, and collateral needs in an integrated environment. Its technology is uniquely positioned to serve the evolving demands of both traditional finance and emerging digital markets through the partnership on this use case. The NASDAQ Calypso will expand its capabilities to support automated 24/7 margin and collateral management across a full spectrum of assets, including crypto derivatives, fixed income, exchange-traded derivatives, and over-the-counter derivatives. Now, what's interesting about this is how I mentioned that they announced these things, collectively speaking, like in advance. And so going back to this, remember, NASDAQ joined as a super validator on January 5th. This was announced June 26, 2025. Well, if we go back to a panel discussion, okay, right, hint, hint, nod, nod, where Yuval Ruz was sitting on this panel discussion, you can see there with the NASDAQ CEO, Adina Friedman, and this was from December 16th, 2025. So before the validator announcement on January 5th, 2026. And listen to what she says. She kind of low-key hints that, these institutions need something like Canton because of the privacy feature. Take a second and listen.
In the equities world, as liquid and transparent as we are, we do not give up who the traders are unless they choose to, right? So that is a really, really important part of the entire making the markets as liquid and as transparent as they are. So there's obviously instant price discovery and all of that. There's depth of book, all of that. But if you choose to put your name behind a quote, you can, but most choose to be anonymous, even on the quote, even on the order. But then on the trade, you think about the level of privacy that institutional investors seek. It is pretty extreme. I mean, their only obligation is to disclose their positions 45 days after the end of the quarter. So while I think that should be brought up closer to the trade, I don't think it should be revealed at the trade. I think you would disincentivize so much volume from coming in if they have to give up their strategies on a real-time basis. And so I think if you end up in an open blockchain that does not have privacy, there will be a privacy layer that's introduced, and that just creates friction. So if you have it built into the actual blockchain technology, that's the elegant way to make it so that you retain the need for them to be able to execute their strategies successfully throughout the day without a give up. And then the other thing I would
Boom. She literally just said that institutions are going to need a privacy layer, and it would just be best for them to do it on a blockchain that already incorporates that into their infrastructure. And again, she's sitting on a panel discussion with Yuval Ruz, right? Days before they announced to become a super validator on the Canton network. And so what I'm just trying to show you guys is that this statement here that Canton is being embedded directly into institutional market plumbing. And if we come back up here, It mentions stock exchanges, global banks, and asset managers are no longer exploring blockchain behind closed doors. They're openly running validators, issuing tokens, and settling assets directly on Canton. This commentary, this statement from Zenith is not smoke. It's not make believe. It is actually happening. So just another net bullish reason for why I hold Canton long term. I think that this project is absolutely embedded into the integration and migration of traditional finance into decentralized finance, and it is going to be at the forefront of this transformation. And I'm constantly seeing signals of that. Now, moving on, another thing that I paid attention to in this article, and this one hit me because I was reading this piece over here from, let me go back to this post. This is from the Canton Foundation. Actually, excuse me, let me go back to this post from the Canton Foundation, where it goes on to talk about builders aren't racing to ship the 100th DEX on some chain. And it goes on to talk about the developer ecosystem and how it's growing rapidly by opening up entirely new, one-of-its-kind design in the space, privacy, institutional controls, and composable finance that actually works for regulated workflows. And then down here, you know that this one caught my eye, especially considering the Wealth 28 Club and everything that we've accomplished in DeFi up to this point, because it mentions a hackathon with 5,000 plus builders across lending, dark pools, prediction markets, and more. So things like AMMs, right? Lending, borrowing platforms, all of that. Again, just getting our digital assets working for us. So I highlighted that because I'm going to be paying very, very close attention. And so now if we come over here, this was the tiny portion of the article from Zenith that caught my eye in regards to lending and just the notion behind earning yield on our Canton tokens. Now, I've already played video breakdowns for you guys on how I'm generating rewards in the Braun wallet, but it would be nice to actually loop those rewards. So take those rewards that I'm earning daily in the Braun wallet and then put them into a staking platform or an AMM where I'm earning additional rewards, and I'm just looping those rewards from Braun to another platform to earn more rewards and generate more yield, and then just constantly loop those, compound those rewards every day. But here it says SendSafe launches. And by the way, I'm not, sponsored or supporting this platform. I've never used it before. It's just, again, something that I am paying attention to. So in the Zenith article, it says the first fully on-chain, non-custodial multi-sig built natively for the Canton network, integrated into the Send app. It provides enterprise-grade approval-based controls for secure storage of assets such as Canton Coin and CUSD. So that one, of course, sparked my interest. And so what I posted over here is that I'm really looking forward to seeing more earning opportunities continue to develop around Canton Coin. Staking, AMM pools, and rewards tied up to upcoming applications are setting the foundation for long-term yield on Canton. I'll be monitoring these developments closely as user experience, rewards, and staking continue to roll out. And in just some of the screenshots, I'll actually take you guys over to the website because it shows you that these things are still being worked on but are up and coming soon. So here is the Send X profile. You can see they have about 22,000 followers, peer-to-peer money built for global use, Send plus CUSD, available on iOS and Android, and they have their mobile website there. So if you scroll down a little bit on their X profile, you come across this article, and when you come down here, you can see the screenshot. Okay, so it goes on to say here, you have pool parties where you can dive in. The liquidity, I'm assuming that these are going to be liquidity pools, says coming soon. And then right here, it mentions stake Canton Coin, earn more Canton Coin, simple compounding. And I mean, I don't know, maybe this is a liquid staked version, STCC. So maybe we're going to be able to stake Canton and then in return, get a liquid stake Canton token and then be able to go and utilize this for additional rewards. And the DeFi ecosystem, again, exploring looping strategies in regards with our Canton positions. But I just found that to be of interest. And so all of that in mind, coming over here to their roadmap, because I was like super excited when I saw that. I was like, wow, is this launched yet? It's not. You can come directly over to their roadmap and it says right here, building now. UX and reward improvements, continuously refining onboarding and reward mechanics, AMM DEXs on the Canton network. So that's going to be cool to see if we get some good liquidity pools where we can use our Canton and another digital asset to provide liquidity, or maybe we get vaults even. Maybe we get one-sided liquidity pools, who knows, but I'll definitely be paying attention to this. And then also it has staking features, token staking for Canton coin and Send. So it looks like Send is going to have its own token. That's going to be also cool to monitor and pay attention to in the coming days ahead. So I definitely will be paying attention to this development moving forward. I'll finish it off down here where it says the bottom line is that Canton Network built the rails for regulated finance. Send is building the products that make those rails usable. Send Safe turns custody from the weakest link into the strongest foundation. It protects institutions, businesses, DAOs, and everyday users with the security model that this ecosystem has been missing. The first on-chain vault for Canton Network is here, and it lives inside the Send app. So as always, many blessings to you guys. Remember, I'm not utilizing this platform here, nor am I telling you guys to go out there and invest in Canton coin, as I did present a bullish case for its longevity in the future moving forward, considering that tokenization is ramping up worldwide on a rapid scale, and Canton Network is actually being utilized by financial conglomerates in real time in today's digital era. But that does not mean that I'm telling you guys to go out there and invest in the token. Always go out there and do your own personal research. Many blessings to you guys. If you enjoyed today's call, smash that thumbs up button. Make sure that you're subscribed to the platform. I will keep you guys up to date on this application here, as I will be paying attention to any key developments in the coming days ahead. Many blessings to you guys. Be cognizant, be aware out there, and I'll see you guys in the next video breakdown.